Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over how to make this lovely African flower in our hexagon motif, and it's going to be similar to this dark gray and light gray one that we did here, but I wanted to add some color, so we're going to go through this lovely purple and pink version. All right, with our light gray around the outside. Let's get to it. Alright, so to get started here, we are using our brunette softy baby. This is our lovely called pink or rose, and we're also going to use our lavender here as well. And we are going to finish it off with the outside section here where the white is. We're going to do that in our soft gray from our brunette cozy style yarn. And I'm using a 4.5mm crochet hook. So our first row, starting with my magic loop, so I've chained 2, looped my yarn around into the circle, and then double crocheted over top. Now this is going to equal 2 double crochets in our count, but we are going to chain 1, and then we are going to continue this center here. So we're doing 2 double crochets and a chain 1 for a space, continue with 2 double crochets and a chain 1, and we want to do that 6 times in total around our center. All right, and if you are just joining us for the first time, thanks so much. My name is Amanda. I am the creative behind Purple Rose Crafts, and I've been knitting and crocheting for over 25 years. So if you guys are new to knitting and crocheting, that's what we do here on the channel. We are teaching beginner knitters and crocheters how to crochet and knit well. So if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and check out our playlist. We have lots of videos posted so far and lots more coming. Last time, if you guys watched the African flower square tutorial, we used 8 petals on that one to give us that square pattern. But this time we are going with 6 to make our lovely, cute little hexagon that you see over there on the side. All right, so here's our 6th petal, and we are going to chain 1, and now we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chains at the beginning of the row, like so. And then we can pull our center to tighten it up. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and change colors to our purple. All right, and my invisible join that we do here is just tying it around our loop in a single knot and pulling it tight. And then cinching it down tight to our flower. And now we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do 2 rows with the purple now to give us that dark gray section that you can see on our example. Now, if you guys don't want this to be a granny square, it does not have to be a hexagon granny square. You can stop after the flower part and just use that as like an applique for a blanket. You know, there's lots of different options that you can do. We are finished with our purple, our pink for now, but we're going to move it out to the outside, but we're going to cut it off because we want to weave in both ends instead of having it run up the back. If this is for a blanket, you're going to see both sides. So you really do want to see. I just carried it up, but if you're going to make this into a blanket, you're going to want that not to be seen. So then it's reversible. So we have 2 chains here, and now we're going to skip over, and we are going to do 4 double crochets into each of the chain spaces all the way around. Okay, so this is row number 2 of this flower. If you guys want to check out the pattern for this one, it will be linked in the description below over to our blog post, and the links to our materials are also below as well. If you want to use these materials, this crochet hook actually I found at a Dollar Tree, but I have a really awesome ergonomic set that is linked below. You guys can check out. Really great ergonomic set that I really enjoy using as well. So we're going to continue with 4 double crochets into each of the chain spaces around our flower before we slip stitch to the top. So here's our space. So we're going to do 3 double crochets here at the end of this row, and then we can slip stitch to our chains at the beginning of the row. Doesn't really look like a hexagon yet, but don't worry, we're going to get there. And so our second row for our African flower, we're going to chain 2 again because we're using lots of double crochets in this one, and then each of our corners has 5 double crochets, and then we're going to single crochet into the center, 1 stitch here, 2 here, so we're going to single crochet in the middle, and then we're going to skip over to this space and do 5 more double crochets. All right, so there's our 5. And now we're going to do the same thing. So stitch 1, stitch 2, we're going to single crochet in the middle and repeat that around for our 6 petals. So 5 double crochets in the space, a single crochet in the middle of the cluster from the previous row, and keep going around our square. This is going to make our petals turn more into like little corners. And as you need, go ahead and give the video a pause and work your row as we're doing here, okay? We're gonna finish our row off with a single crochet, and then we're gonna slip stitch to the chains for the beginning of the row. Then we're gonna switch back to our pink for our last row here. That kind of gives us this dip in the center of our petals, kind of give our petals a little bit more definition. And then we're gonna switch to our gray to finish off our last row with single crochet around the outside. Tie our pink yarn back on. And now we're gonna switch back to a nice, simple single crochet around the outside, except we're gonna add those dips. Single crocheting, I'm gonna single crochet through the back loop only for this row. And now we're gonna go to the top of our petal, so. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, this is the top of our petal. So now we're gonna single crochet 2 at the top of our petals. Now we're gonna do 2 more single crochets, 1 in each stitch here, to the bottom, to the dip where our single crochet is from the previous row, right? See, we've got a single crochet here. So now we're gonna dip down. So this is our single crochet here. We're gonna dip down 2 rows, skip completely over that single crochet that's there, and do a long single crochet down into the row below. Okay, see how that works there? So we skip over the one that's here and come down into the row below. And so we're gonna single crochet 2 times into the next 2 stitches, and the next stitch has 2 single crochets in it altogether. And then single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and then we're gonna do a long one. Okay, so there's our repeat. We have a long single crochet, but our repeat starts like this: single crochet, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, single crochet in the 4th and 5th, and then a long single crochet to finish off the petal. Okay, so if you guys haven't done this long single crochet, let's do it one more time. We're gonna, so our single crochet is here. Okay, our single crochet is here. We want to skip over top and come down into in between the 2 double crochets of the row below. Okay, and it's a single crochet, so we're not getting yarn over. And all right, pull up your loop so it's looser, right? You don't want it to be super tight. And then finish off your single crochet. All right, so there we go. We've finished off row number 4 with our last row of pink. And now we're gonna grab our nice light gray that we used for the center, of this one here. And we're gonna finish off the bulk of our blanket between our squares with this light gray. And we're just gonna finish with a single crochet around the outside, putting 2 single crochets into the center of the top of our flower. And now we're gonna single crochet around the outside. So for this row, our pattern will be, at the beginning of the row, we chained 1, and then we single crochet twice. Our next one is 2 single crochets for the corner, which is at the top of our petal. And then we're gonna single crochet all the way across and put 2 more single crochets at the top of our petal again, where we did our 2 single crochets last time. All right, so we're just gonna single crochet in the back loop. If you guys don't know what that is, we have our front loop here. So we have 2 strands for our V at the top of our previous row. And so we are single crocheting through just the back loop. It is just as easy if you crochet through both, but I like to crochet through just the back loop because it gives us this nice, little bit straighter, cleaner line as we move between colors. So it's not necessarily important if you're doing all one color, but I like the transition between colors to have that nice straight line. So you can see the nice straight edge here. And if you guys aren't really sure what I'm talking about, we talked about this a lot in the last African flower video, so I'll link that in the description below as well. You guys can check that out because I showed the difference. All right, so we're going to continue working our way around our hexagon, and then we're going to finish it off with our slip stitch. So if you guys like this African flower, go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know what other tutorials you guys want to see, because there are so many that I can do and they are super fun. If you guys like granny squares, we could do more of them. We also have more blanket patterns coming, and we're going to do a crochet bag. We're going to do so many more things. So now let's finish off with an invisible finish. So if you guys want, finish it off with a slip stitch normal. We are going to do a little bit different one here. I am pulling the yarn out just before the end of the slip stitch to the beginning of the row. I cut my yarn off, and now we're going to thread it onto a darning needle like so. And now we are going to finish it off and make this look super invisible so you can't actually see that slip stitch at the end of the row. So take your darning needle, insert it into the first stitch from front to back like so, and then we're going to come back down and through the last stitch that we just finished and pull it a little bit tighter like so. And now we've basically just made a chain on top of our stitch and we are finished. All right, so now we can go ahead and weave in our ends. Sometimes I find this easier with a darning needle, especially when we're doing these flowers and where our stitches are really tight. It can definitely make, you know, getting a crochet hook in there to like so. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and weave in all these ends, but there you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. All right, if you guys enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you guys want to learn how to join these together, check out this video now on the screen. And of course we have our granny square playlist, so if you made it this far, you might want to check that one out because it's going to have more squares in it. And the original hexagon video that we did a couple of weeks ago. And I hope you guys enjoy those as well. And we will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.